Hi friends, welcome to today's video. Today I decided to turn the camera on and just sit down and play with some new products. I've got to get myself ready and I thought why not share that with you, do something pretty quick. Not spend a whole lot of time doing my makeup for today, I just need to pull myself together. I've pulled some products. I've gotten so many new things that I haven't had a chance to play around with. Some things that I've had my eye on for a very long time. A product that kind of came back in stock. It's been in and out of stock at Sephora. I've got some drugstore products, new drugstore launches. I've got so many things to try, share my thoughts with you guys. So I'm gonna pull just random things, some things that I've used before, some new things. It's gonna be a mix. So if that sounds good, then let's go ahead and get started. As always, I start with my complexion first. So I'm gonna go in with primer. This is the new Blur Out Smoothing Primer from Milani. I've already done a video review on it. If you haven't seen it, I will link it for you. It comes with a little spatula. It's a smoothing and blurring primer. I like the little spatula because you can actually scoop out the product and not have to put your fingers directly into the actual jar, which I like for sanitary reasons. I just like having that little tool. So kudos to them for including that. But this primer actually does blur and smooth the skin, and I used this for the first time in that video during the first impressions, and I paired it with the Milani foundation, and it looked incredibly beautiful and it wore so well the entire day. And I had several of you comment on how pretty the makeup looked, and you're right, it actually did. Not to toot my own horn, but it just looked so good. And I think it's just the combination of this primer with the foundation. So I'm hoping for that to repeat itself today. Fingers crossed. As I said, I'm hoping that this is going to be a repeat of a really good makeup day with the foundation and primer. So I'm going to go into that Conceal and Perfect foundation from Milani. This is the shade 00 BB Nude. So as I did in that first impressions video, I was pushing the foundation over the primer with the flat side of my beauty sponge, which is from Real Techniques, so that I don't disrupt and disturb the primer and start buffing and lifting it. I want it to stay in place. It's smoothing and blurring. So I need that primer to stay exactly where I put it in my troublesome areas. So I'm gonna do this sort of pressing motion, and it seemed to have worked in that video. So I think it's going to work again today. So far the foundation is looking exactly the same as it did in that first impressions with the primer. So far those two together seem to be a beautiful combo, a magic combo of products. So I'm going to continue using those together in the future because I do like the way this is looking. And that foundation is actually really good at the drugstore. So if you haven't tried that Milani foundation, I highly encourage you to check it out and try it for yourself. It's actually one of the better ones that I've tried. So now we get to do some concealer. I'm going to do a few different things. I'm going to mix some of my high-end products. First start with my Caliray Hideaway Brightener in the shade Dawn, which is a light pink. And I'm going to do a few little dots right here where I have the darkest part of my under eye, and then right out here. Going in with one of my Ulta Beauty brushes, the small end of the 132 brush, which is the double-ended. It's actually called the dual-ended multi-sculpting brush. I always forget the name of this brush, but it's so good. I use that small side to blend in this brightener. On top of the brightener, I'm going to add some concealer. I'm going to mix to the ABH Magic Concealer in shade 3 and the High Glam from Natasha Denona in the shade P1. I love these formulas. The Natasha Denona is some of the best that you can find at Sephora. She did an incredible job with this formula. So I'm going to use Natasha Denona on the inner part of my eye. And I'm going to take just a tiny bit of the Magic Touch from ABH. This is a full coverage concealer. Shade 3 is a little dark, so I do mix it, and I'm going to do 2 small little dots. And then I'm going to go into my damp beauty sponge, the pointed side of it, and blend those two together. To set my concealer, I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Easy Bake Powder. The shade that I have is Sugar Cookie. This is the newest fragrance-free formula. I feel like it performs just like the original. It's just not including the fragrance, which honestly really didn't bother me. But some people are sensitive to fragrance. Some people don't like it. Some people have like actual reactions in their skin to fragrance products. So I get why they took it out, and I feel like it performs the same way. So at least it's good. Either it's fragrance or not, it's going to still perform beautifully. This powder is blurring. It's smoothing. I like to use a powder puff. This one in particular is from the Sephora collection, and it's so good. Love this powder. Love this puff. If you're looking for a powder that can set, blur, and kind of look like a filter's been applied to your face, you need this one. Whatever's left on my puff, I'm going to press it in the T-zone. I'm not using any additional product. There's barely anything left. But just to use up what I have on there and to lightly set the T-zone so this stays in place all day, and then just barely pressing over the parameters of my face. Again, it's just to use what's left on my sponge because I did feel like I picked up a little too much today. I'm also not going to do any baking either. I'm just going to set it and move on. I'm going to use what's left on my puff to go over my lids, which I did put some concealer. The same two concealers as I was applying them to my under eye. I just took some on my lids to prep and prime them. I'm going to include some products from Armani Beauty in this video. I feel like for me personally, with my experience with this line, their products are beautiful. The formulas are actually great. They come at a premium price, of course, because it's a designer brand, but they're actually beautiful. This is the Fluid Sheer Glow Enhancer, and these are so pretty. They're kind of light, and sheer is in the name, so it's not going to be an intense payoff. You will see them on the skin, but they add a kind of sheer tint to the skin with a bit of glow. The shade that I have is 11, and it's like a really pretty kind of rosy bronze, so you can use this in place of some blush and bronzer. If you're trying to do a quick look and kind of cut down on product, looking for something like this that can give you a little bit of color and also kind of bronzy tones can knock out a few steps. So I'm going to use this today with a brush, and I'm going to show you how this looks. It has a subtle kind of sheen to it, but it's ultra pretty. It's not glittery. It's not big pieces of sparkle in it. It's actually stunning. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and use my e.l.f. Complexion Duo Brush, and I'm going to stamp this on and blend this in. This one does have, when you blend it, it kind of picks up kind of like a pinky peachy with a subtle kind of bronzy undertone to it. It's really pretty, and it's a shade that I feel like works with pretty much any eye look, and it gives a glow. As you can see, it's a pretty kind of golden sheen to the skin without the glitter, as I mentioned earlier, but it just kind of adds a little bit of color. And for a quick everyday look, this honestly could be it. I don't have to really do much beyond this. Beautiful. And it blends. I love these. These are incredible. I want to take a little bit of bronzer, and man, does this one smell so good. It's the Chocolate Soleil bronzer from Too Faced. You open this up and you immediately smell that chocolate scent. I love chocolate, and so every time I smell this, I'm like, I need some chocolate. Don't you worry, I always have my pantry stocked with chocolate. I'm just going to use my Ulta dual-ended 144 powder brush. Just add a little hint of this right over that Armani Fluid Sheer. I'm going to add some highlighter because I have to. Even though this Fluid Sheer from Armani has a little bit of a glow, I kind of want to amp that up just a bit. So I pulled from my drawer the Makeup Forever Artist Highlighter Wherever Pro, so it's H130. I have loved this since I bought this. This is absolutely beautiful. I completely despise this packaging, by the way. I get that this is made to be put into like pans for makeup artists in their kits, because this little flap here just keeps lifting every time I put my brush in there, so I have to actually hold that down. I don't like it. I feel like they should have improved that just a little bit. I get that it's supposed to be easy to take this out. You lift this up and out comes the pan that you can put into a larger pan and kind of customize your products for makeup artists, since that's kind of like what's behind this brand. It's for like artists. But I feel like for the everyday person, if you don't close this up and you put this inside of your makeup bag, this lid opens up, this whole thing is going to pop out. It's going to ruin your product. It's going to get all over the place. So I just feel like it needs some improvement. It's not the best. It could be better. The product itself is absolutely stunning. So I kind of forgive it for being a pain because it's beautiful. You see that pretty soft kind of pearly icy glow? Love. Before I go into the eye look for today, which is going to be super simple, I want to set my face. This is the 3-second setting mist from L'Oreal. I'm almost out of this, and it actually truly works. So I'm going to set my face. Give it a good fan, as I always do. I feel like I need to get myself one of those little pocket fans to just kind of fan my face and let this dry. I actually really like this spray, and it smells and feels and tastes like hairspray. If you have not tried this spray, I highly recommend you check this out. If you're looking for a spray that can keep your makeup on, it claims a 36-hour transfer proof type of setting, but I don't honestly wear my makeup ever for that long, so I can't tell you if that's a valid claim or not. What I do know that it does hold everything in place, locks the makeup in for a good 8 to 12 hours, which is generally the time frame that I'm wearing my makeup. And at the end of the day, my makeup looks exactly as it did when I freshly applied it. So that's definitely one of the best setting sprays that I've used, and the best one from the drugstore. And it's super affordable compared to some higher end products. That's a good one to try. Before we do today's eye look, which is going to be super easy and quick, I need a bit of a coffee break. Be right back. All right, let's get into the eye look. I have talked about the one and done eyeshadow look. That's my jam. I'm a stay-at-home mom of 4, and I have to get myself ready pretty quickly. I do have time here and there to do extra steps, to use eyeshadow palettes and do different types of looks, but on a day-to-day basis, when I'm getting ready early in the mornings or when I have to go run errands, I'm reaching for something like the Armani Eye Tints or a shadow sticks that can easily be applied, blended, and I can just call it a day. I'm going to use these. I have a few of these Armani Eye Tints, which I think are phenomenal liquid formulas for eyeshadow. Some of the best that I've tried. I know they come at a premium, and I want to show some love to my high-end products because I have so many great things. So why let them sit in the drawer? So we're going to start with these. I'm going to first go in with the 22M. I'm going to use a brush from BK Beauty, the A501, but you could take this and directly go onto your lids with the applicator. But I tend to work off of a makeup palette or the back of my hand. So with that brush, I'm just going to start patting this right over my lid from inner corner to outer corner. And you do have a little bit of playtime before these set, but I would recommend that you start with one eye at a time and apply it, blend it, do what you want for the look that day, and then go into the next eye, because these do set and you don't want to find yourself having to work harder to blend. And that's the thing with a lot of liquid shadows or shadow sticks. They do tend to set because they are more of a long wear formula. Look how easy that blended. So easy. For a little bit of liner, I'm going to use my Colorstay eyeliner from Revlon. I have been using this so much. This is the shade Black Brown number 02. So it's not quite as intense as a black or deep black shade, but it's a little bit deeper than brown. So I feel like it's like that perfect happy medium where I get some depth and some smokiness. So I'm going to use this to tight line first. This eye is watering today. I'm going to take that same liner and I'm going to lay it on its side and apply just a little bit really close to the root of my lashes. Then I'm going to flip over the eyeliner and use that smudgy silicone tip and blend this out just a little bit. With the Reference number 3 brush, I'm going to jump back into my highlighter and use that to highlight the inner corner. And also the brow bone. For mascara today, I wanted to try this sample of the new Charlotte Tilbury mascara. It's the Exagger Volume Mascara. This was a free gift with a Sephora order if you spend a certain amount. I was surprised that this was even still available. I personally like the Pillow Talk mascara. That's my favorite one from her line. But this just looked really good, and I thought, if this sample is still available, I'm definitely going to snag it because I had some things in my cart anyway, so I thought, why not just go ahead and hit checkout. Here's the wand for the mascara in case you're curious about it. This is a traditional brush with a slight bit of a curve to it, which I think is going to be nice to hug the lashes and follow the shape of the eye. So I'm excited about this. I'm going to do 2 coats on the top and 1 coat on the bottom. I wanted to show you, this is 2 coats and then this is 1 coat. Wow. There is a huge difference. Like, I know I can't be seeing this. Are you seeing this? This is 2 coats and 1 coat. I cannot even believe it. Yes. I'm really, really liking this mascara. Lastly, we got to do a lip product for the day. This is a new item to my collection. This is the item that I mentioned at the beginning of the video that was in and out of stock at Sephora. and I just couldn't get my hands on it. So when I got the notification that it was back in stock, I definitely snagged it. It's the Lassie Lips Staining Lip Oil from Kulfi. I've tried only one other thing from this line, and I think it was like the eyeliner. I forget the color, but it was one of their kind of skinnier eyeliner pencils, and that's really it. I don't have any other experience with the Kulfi brand and products. They seem very interesting, and this actually sounds interesting, like a staining lip oil. I have found a lot of value in lip stains for me personally now that we're in that back to school season, getting myself ready in the morning, throwing on a nice staining lip product. I have a few other ones that I like that are staining products, and then some that are like staining lip oils. I have one from the drugstore that actually leave a little bit of color behind. So after the day's going by and I'm drinking my coffee, having my breakfast, then some lunch with the little ones, I can actually still see that I have some color on my lips, and I don't necessarily have to touch it up. And if I do, I can easily do a lip balm, a lip gloss that's clear, or just some Aquaphor, whatever it is, and it just kind of livens up and revives the lip look. So that was the whole idea with purchasing this, is to do something easy and simple, quick in the morning. I'm not quite sure if I want to do a lip liner with this. The shade that I bought was Rose. That's the one that keeps coming in and out of stock. It looks really pretty online, like an everyday rosy type of shade. And that's what the applicator looks like. Just a simple kind of flat doe foot paddle style applicator. So maybe we should do just a hint of lip liner. So I think that the Maybelline Lifter Liner in Line Leader, which is like My Lips But Better type of shade, I use this every day. I think it's going to pair really nicely with that Kulfi product. So let's go ahead and line really quickly. And now for the Kulfi Lassie Lips. There's not much of a scent to it. Oh, that's pretty. Yes. And that's that Kulfi Lassie Lips in Rose. I think this color is really pretty. It's a bit of a deeper rose on than it looked online in the swatches on the Sephora app. And I pulled it up on the app, and it says to leave a thin coat or build up for a glossier finish. It doesn't say anything about removing it for the stain. So I think that as the lip oil starts to wear off throughout the day, it's going to leave behind a stain. I would definitely let you guys know how I feel about this. I feel like the color is really nice. It's a bit of a deeper rose, so I feel like it's definitely something that is giving me those kind of fall vibes. Don't you think? It's a little bit darker than I typically go for, but we'll see what this looks like. It may actually look really pretty as this sort of fades through the day, so stay tuned. I will let you know how that works out for me. So I'm feeling like I want to do a hint more blush now that I have the eyes done and this lip combo. Been going back and forth with some shades that are kind of more toasty in my collection. So the Haus Labs French Rosette is really pretty. It's a little bit more warm. But then I also have this one from Too Faced. This is the Cloud Crush Head in the Clouds shade. I feel like this one definitely pulls those kind of rosy vibes from the lip, and I feel like it's also going to go well with the kind of rosy undertone of the Fluid Sheer, which is the only thing that I have on my cheeks. So let's do this one from Too Faced, and I'm going to pick up one of my Ulta Beauty brushes and just kind of lightly tap just a little bit more. Because more is more when it comes to blush, right? That definitely is a little bit better. So let's do a little bit more on this side. And lastly, to do a little final touch before I complete this video, I want to take my Pat McGrath Sublime Perfection Blurring Powder in the Baby Pink with my Real Technique setting brush, tapping off the excess, and I'm going to sweep this under the eye and right through here to brighten and kind of perfect and blur a little bit more in this area here. And I'm also going to take that through the center of the forehead. And this is the finished result. I'm definitely getting those fall cozy vibes, aren't we? I feel like the darker lip, a little bit of a toasty, rosy blush, and just an easy, simple eye. This is definitely something that I'm going to do again because I do like how everything is looking. It's easy to do, products that actually worked. I sprinkled in some favorites, some things that I haven't shown enough love to, some newer things. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching it. The description box is going to have everything listed and linked for you down below. Subscribe for more videos like this in the future. I post every Tuesday and every Friday. I look forward to connecting with you on Instagram. It pops up here on the screen. Take care, you guys, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye-bye.